A new Elder Scrolls game drops out of nowhere, Epic Games announces mass layoffs, and why Pokemon scalpers are storming the Van Gogh Museum. I'm Ash Dixon, and this is GINX News. Without a single word of warning, Bethesda decided to launch a brand new Elder Scrolls game just yesterday. And look, let's tear that band-aid off right away, because no, it's not the Elder Scrolls 6 or some other epic RPG set in the same universe. No, this is the Elder Scrolls Castles, the new early access mobile game that absolutely no one asked for. But hey, just because no one asked for it doesn't mean it might not be a fun little game in its own right. So what exactly is it? Well, it's a building management sim, and it's incredibly reminiscent of Fallout Shelter. You'll customize, expand, and decorate your castle while assigning workers to stations to keep things running smoothly. Not only that, but you'll also create heroes to send off on mighty quests to face down classic Elder Scrolls foes, like mountainsides that are a bit too steep, or the infamous Thomas the Tank Engine. I'm joking, it's dragons. You'll fight lots of dragons. It's free to play, though we haven't had the chance to dive in and see what the monetization is like. That's because lots of articles say it's available on the Play Store for everyone now, but I can't seem to install it, so either they're telling fibs or Bethesda just hate me personally, which might be the case. I did say Starfield was mid. Oh, and Apple users, sadly, as of right now, it's only on Android, but don't worry, you'll only have to wait just over half a decade for the next Elder Scrolls game. Multi-billion-dollar publisher Epic Games are laying off around 16% of their staff. Ain't capitalism great? Yep, the makers of Fortnite and Unreal Engine are laying off around 900 people. CEO Tim Sweeney has said, while Fortnite is starting to grow again, the growth is driven primarily by creator content with significant revenue sharing, and this is a lower margin business than we had when Fortnite Battle Royale took off and began funding our expansion. So the money's leaving the pockets of Epic and into the pockets of those making them content? Oh, criminal. Sweeney did go on to say that about 2/3 of the layoffs were in teams outside of their core department, which I'm sure brought loads of comfort to the smaller dev teams like Fall Guys dev Mediatonic. One disgruntled employee tweeted this gem yesterday. Now, to be fair to Epic, those that lost their jobs received a healthy severance package that includes 6 months base pay, as well as 6 months Epic paid healthcare. Still crazy to me that universal healthcare just isn't a thing in some places. But Epic insisted that there would be no more redundancies, and that they're going to prioritize the next Fortnite season and Fortnite Chapter 5, as well as Del Mar, the codename for the new car racing mode, and Juno, which is the rumored collab with Lego. So they've got a lot going on. I guess the question now is, do they have enough people to pull it off? Sega has cancelled its upcoming shooter Hyenas, alongside some other unannounced games in development. The extraction shooter was set to drop this year and was the brainchild of Creative Assembly, which turned some heads initially as they're famous for their Total War games. In fact, the first impressions of Hyenas weren't exactly glowing. All of the responses could essentially be nestled into two categories. One crowd complained that it was yet another generic hero shooter, while the other questioned why Creative Assembly weren't sticking to RTS. The game itself pits 5 teams of 3 against each other and AI as they attempt to steal pop culture memorabilia. This all takes place in themed spaceships with zero-G sections, which, you know, could have been fun. Also, I will give big props to whoever made this running animation. I do like that. But sadly, on top of being axed, Creative Assembly has now also confirmed that they're making redundancies across the company. They've said they're going to try and reallocate people where possible, but ultimately, there's likely to be job losses. They did have some other unannounced projects, so who knows if those are still intact. Either way, Total War Pharaoh launches in a couple of weeks, so here's hoping it's a smash hit. In today's edition of This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things, we're looking at the cesspool that is Pokemon card scalpers. That's because over in Amsterdam at the rather lovely Van Gogh Museum, they've decided to do a delightful collaboration with Pokemon.
No, isn't it Van Gogh?
It's Van Gogh.
Well, technically it's Van Gogh, but actually I'll probably butcher that. We're going with Van Gogh. It's in celebration of the museum's 50th anniversary and aims to introduce young artists to Van Gogh's work. You may be thinking, what a strange combination, but in fact, Van Gogh was profoundly influenced by Japanese art. And as part of the event, some rather beautiful merchandise has been made, including a very special Pikachu card. And that's, of course, where everything has gone to shit. You see, the card is inspired by the famous self-portrait with grey felt hat, and it's a rather splendid tribute to Van Gogh. Now, anyone who attends the museum can go on a Pokemon adventure, which involves roaming around and completing tasks, and in reward, you receive one of these lovely cards. But this is Pokemon cards we're talking about, which means people have gone absolutely insane. You see, a video has surfaced of scalpers swarming the museum, and it's as depressing as it sounds. And of course, all those greedy assholes have been quick to flood eBay with the card for ridiculous prices. When I last looked, people were trying to sell them for anything between £200 and £800, and my faith in humanity slips further into the void. And I wish I could say, I was surprised. Over on the museum's Twitter, they posted an adorable video of Pikachu roaming around the museum, but look down at the comments and it's just people asking about the card. And it's the same on the website. Look at their FAQ and it's the same thing. How do I get the Pikachu promo card? Can I get the promo card elsewhere? Can I take an extra promo card? How many promo cards can I get? And look, I get it. Pokemon cards are cool as hell. The old cards are drenched in beautiful nostalgia, while the new cards are works of art in themselves. And I have no problem with people purely getting cards for the sake of collecting. But the sad thing is, there's a fantastic card game underneath of all of that. The vile events that have unfolded at the Van Gogh Museum has shown trading card games at their ugliest, but I want to use this as an opportunity to speak about them at their most beautiful. Those nights with your partner playing Pokemon, the mutual love and common ground found between parents and their children, the opportunity to meet up with friends and make new ones at your local card shop. There's always going to be greedy assholes looking to profit off of everyone else's fun, but it's our job not to get swept up in it. Don't fill their pockets, don't fuel their greed. Instead, pick up one of those measly little common cards, build a wonderful deck, and make even better memories. And that's the show. Looking at the script, I realize I haven't written the ending, but you know the drill. Like and subscribe, check out yesterday's video somewhere around here. Have a lovely weekend and we'll see you on Monday.